very curious about the cards.
Yeah, same. So these.
I like how you like pink.
But this is the one card that definitely needs to change. So the concept is that with my research, and the last time I spoke to you, I talked about the KSA moment of change as being an opportunity to, like, site specific, but and I had lots of ideas and found lots of really positive things that are happening. And I had a tutorial with Paul, and I put all of these ideas and separate thoughts grouped them into coloured post-it notes with illustrations rather than words, so that you can quickly get the idea. And we were talking, I was like, I don't know what to do, like, so much, like, it's a bit overwhelming. Not overwhelming, but I suppose, like, didn't know which to prioritise.
Yeah. Welcome. Yeah.
So maybe I'll just pass the problem on to you. So I've got these cards, and
so what is the aim of these cards? What do you want to achieve with these cards?
So I see these as a way of grouping together bringing together the positives and the problems and the ideas about embedding sustainability into the culture of Kingston School of Art. Sort of, noting that there's a moment of change, making suggestions about possible ways of sort of bringing them together or amplifying, or so they're a tool to aid the development of ideas in group discussions, or with somebody as on their own. Originally I was thinking I could give them to the Dean and be like, look, these are all the great things that are happening, here are some ideas and here's your opportunity to embed them into this thing that you're doing. My tutorial with Louise last week, she said, why not say that they are possibly for the Dean, but he hasn't asked for them, which is quite a valid point. So why not have them as a tool for the Sustainability Hub to use in meetings, and like with meetings that you're in, you could take these cards along and they help to sort of prompt and stimulate discussion, and you can start to like group them together, or maybe delegate.
It's like an engaging activity, really, like
like a design tool, I suppose. But also that helped me realise is that perhaps, I remember when we first had our meeting, and I said that perhaps as a student I can maybe say things or put them a bit blunter, perhaps, because I don't have to be. So perhaps these cards are an opportunity for some of the things that you would like to say to be said, and then you can take it to a meeting and go, student make these, and then I don't know. Anyway, so there might be some subjects on there that maybe so this card isn't very attractive and needs to be improved, but the idea is that this is, when you have like Pokemon cards, you have like a shiny one, and that's the really good one. So this is like the
what is KSA? Is it
at Kingston School of Art? That's a good point. I should clear out. So also, once I've resolved the cards, they'll come with sort of introduction and explanation.
And brand them. You want everyone to know that this is part of your card, if that makes sense. These are yours.
Oh, okay, that's a good idea. Oh, thanks.
Because maybe this can be a prototype for something that can turn out to be something that you can gain some money from in the future.
I think in my report I'm going to mention that it's, as a framework, there's potential, hopefully, depending on how...
I mean, you know what, if we like that, or if we say it's good but you can change them after your dissertation and turn them into something, whatever, you can, start making a living for yourself. You put all this work together.
We shall see. So, the idea is that initially, before any idea of like games or how they would be used, the idea was just that they are simply putting together the elements that I see are important if the aim is to embed sustainability or improve the sustainable culture. So these are just elements. So this is the idea is that you have this as like the main sort of reference. Be like, okay, so this is our opportunity. These two cards are two quotes that I've found really useful throughout the whole project when I've been thinking about culture. So again, these are references.
Okay.
So yeah, again, it's just bringing things together. And then here we go. It's the sustainability head team. Hope everyone doesn't mind. Oh yeah, and that's Stephen, the dean. So he's like a reference we're talking about. So also these cards are to be folded and printed like this.
My name is wrong spelled.
No.
Yeah, it's not. It's XY.
That's fine. Change that. This is why we're here. Okay, so in the situation where perhaps the whole sustainability hub aren't assembled, then this is a reference, so you can be like, maybe these guys can help with this thing that we're talking about. Yeah, go for it. No. It's a problem of mine.
Okay, so let's say we have this and it's folded.
Yeah.
And we're not all together. Then what?
So these, I suppose I see all of these cards as references that you have just laid out. So when you're coming together on an idea, you think, who can help with that? You think, well, maybe Sarah could get us some statistics.
Sarah is not with us anymore.
Oh no.
But we're getting a new person in, so maybe you can say EMS administrator and just have a question mark if you want to use them today, or just stick a face there, like leave Sarah as she is, or you can even leave Sarah for your purposes. It's fine. But Sarah is not with us for the last few weeks, actually.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a shame. She was nice.
She was very nice. Yeah, she's a baker now officially.
Baker? Oh wow. Yeah, my mate's just had an interview to be a baker actually. So these help to sort of and the dean as well. I suppose I'm sort of highlighting these people as the key people that you need to support to facilitate any sustainable related actions.
For you, so this is the moment of change, culture, and you have your dean here who has.
Actually, because he's prepared.
Yeah, let's make him feel very happy. And this is all its father, really.
Yeah, so all my cards are directed to this specifically at Kingston School of Art, the father situation. I understand that that's not particularly helpful to the brief when it's talking about.
It can be an example.
Exactly. Yeah, that's one of the ideas that I was thinking was like start something small and then it can grow. So nice to know that the positives far outweigh the nice touch. So these are things which I have come across through my research, through talking to people.
Very nice.
Which are happening. These are all positive, sustainable actions, causes, activities, self-initiated, or facilitated, supported, opportunities, things to be proud of, reasons to be cheerful. So now that these are like the reference cards, and now we're into like the I don't know what you call them really. Maybe you need to think of a name actually.
Actions.
Actions. I suppose examples perhaps.
Examples.
And these can be grouped into.
Hello.
Oh hey, you alright?
Yeah.
These are
Prototype.
Here you are.
Oh, very good. Tell me about it.
Okay, so
is it a game?
as these are my proposed tool to help help with developing ideas about how to embed sustainability better into FADA. I've honed in on this Kingston School of Art launch as an opportunity as a moment of change to sort of make some changes with regards to sustainable culture. These are what I would call reference cards. The idea is that these would just be brought to a discussion where people are developing ideas. Perhaps Stephen will have a meeting and he'll talk about, right, this is happening. And if there's somebody there representing sustainability, they can bring these cards along and use them as a reference when you're just talking about ideas. And when I suppose it depends on the user. I've come up with a few sort of like idea generating games, but I just sort of see them as grouping all these things together, which I see as important issues, and then having the visual references. That they would be cards printed like this, to be a little less clustered. Grouping together issues that you can just like quickly sort of like, okay, yeah, and then okay, so these things that are happening. You can start, rather than a presentation which is a bit linear. This is a bit more like
engaging in.
Yeah. So yellow are examples of sustainable actions, initiatives, etc., which are currently happening at FADA, which I see as like really positive. Now these are the red cards, which are the problems, and there might be more, I don't know, but from what I could find, again, this is all about culture. That's my starting point. The cards are grouped by colour, but they're also grouped by these groups on the back. So we have some potential ideas
of solving.
Not necessarily solving the problems. I recognise that my position, although I've been doing this project or so.
Is this management?
It's the idea.
Yeah, there's a few types.
Thank you.
It's alright, you're creative.
Yeah. So, yeah. Hopefully, these can be a tool to help generate ideas, but also to support discussion and to help to get your point across in a meeting, and maybe even suggest some things that.
Are there going to be any blank ones where people can actually draw, or they can?
Yeah, definitely. I've just printed these now, but there will be blanks.
I really love it. It's really engaging. I just want to give you a little caveat. So I think this is great, but I had somebody who interviewed for me, and they brought something very similar, and it was like, wow, and everybody in the interview panel was just like I think we are. It's like, what? Because it's really engaging, and it's using a different part of your brain. Like I was just in front of the computer doing whatever we normally do. So there's a real where he not only filmed, where he stopped is where I think you've got this far. So the next stage is really crucial, is how you pull it down into use. So I would say that what you really need to do is to practice using them. So when there's an interview panel, we went, whoa, which is just like here, stimulates a whole lot of stuff. He hadn't piloted it. So he piloted it in the interview, and it didn't work the way he wanted it to work. And although we were very, sustainability, and then there was, you have to have somebody from HR, and then there was an external.
Yeah.
So we were all really different perspectives, but we were all aligned. And he was saying, no, you should have chosen, didn't. So what I would say is, fabulous, and make sure that in the I'm happy to make myself available, because this is really exciting. but I was really saying, please pilot how it's used, because you know how you probably know this because you're a designer, but you know how you think somebody, like when there's a pathway, you put the pathway around here, but actually everybody shortcuts across here and the grass wears out. And I think that's what he'd done. He designed it, and although it was very creative, if we didn't go down the pathway, and none of us went down, we all took a shortcut, different shortcuts. This is fab, really excited about it initially. I'm not going to stay any longer.
Yes, no, thank you, but I wanted you to say,
me in. I think it's brilliant, really good. And like Marie, I think if people can input their own ideas, I think it's a really easy way. I'm a visual person. I just suddenly, like, I just feel relieved seeing, like, I see immediately that you've got themes. And I could see, I love the reasons to be cheerful. I love that you've got respect. Like, there's so much about it visually. And I love these because it's not a criticism. It's like an opportunity. Like, it really feels like I could be that person flicking a switch or doing something different. Really, really like it. So I'd be happy if you want to test it or do, you know, but also test it on a range of people yourself to see how you're going to use it. But as a communications tool, I'm really enrolled.
Something that could be quite interesting, and tell us what you think, is we are these people, that's fine, but maybe it's good to, I'm just wondering, to flag up personal responsibility in addressing all of these. So you can have blanks where there can be potential solutions and they can be in green, but you can have pink ones where what is your responsibility in that? How can you address these challenges?
So
because blank people, and this person, now you know the challenges, you know what's happening, you know what these people are doing. They cannot do all of these things themselves, so how can you, what's your role in that? And with this way you can have something quite
and I could even see you coming to an event to do a little sketch of LJ or Clarissa, like the people we work with, and having them say, like, having all these blank cards, because so Maria's goal is to support, our goal, we can't do it. So those people up there, we can't do it. So we can action these institutional touch points. Yeah. So, and you guys can say, hold on a minute, this is dumb. There must be a smarter way of doing this, and it benefits our students. But what our job really is that people say, oh, but this is how I'm applying it in my sphere of influence. Whatever there's not a single person who works or comes to this university that doesn't have a sphere of influence and responsibility to embed it. So if there was a way that card, and I think if you're open to it, but for away days, you could come along to our away day, you could do a quick sketch of each person, because it would be meaningful. It's so personalised. And then they could say what their main role is and how they're embedding it. Because so for now, I've just the comms person said, oh, I'm doing a lovely glossy leaflet out to the community, and I'm like, oh, glossy leaflet, single-sided, thick, thin, like all the environmental impact, and I'd love a sustainability message on it. So he's asking me to give a sustainability message, but really his sphere of influence is that he's printing a load of glossy stuff to go to the local community. So my job's dual one. Like, I need to give him what he's asked for, but I also need to say, oh, had you thought about printing it, in this way, or an eco-friendly, and da-da. So if he could take, so that's our challenge with a lot of this. There's things that we can, like, we could provide you with alternatives to skips. But if people don't use it and take personal responsibility, that would be an amazing result. I love it. So yeah, let me know if you want me. I'm away till September, so it might. When do you have to handle all of this?
Thursday.
What?
Thursday.
This Thursday, you have to. The dissertation's due this Thursday.
Yeah.
Is that early?
It's as it was always going to be. I always knew that it was going to be Thursday. Yeah.
So in which case we might have to do...
But for the purpose of the dissertation, this is great.
Yes.
The only thing we could say is
No,
typos,
good.
people's names, emails, like these kind of things, and then
Yeah.
maybe blank cards for some. Yeah.
I mean, honest, I've got no problems with criticisms and ideas, and even if I can't make it all happen.
But you know what? It doesn't like as a. If we need to see that as as a structure and what it tries to achieve, like this is great. And as Victoria was saying, this can be a really useful tool for us. Like away days, for example, that's great. And for now, it's fantastic, and we can see by use how it can get better. If that makes sense.
Yeah, of course.
And as I said, please make sure you brand. You start branding things.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Maria, there is another. I can't see it. It was somewhere here. Perhaps you've moved it. There was another typo, but I thought I won't just. You know what I like. I won't just go straight into the typos. But I just can't see it now. So you might find another one. Okay. So I'll leave you with that. Yeah. And so focus. Do whatever you need to do for the dissertation, and then come back to. Are you local? What are your plans after this?
I'm moving to South Korea.
Are you? When?
October, but before that, I'm
So in September,
in
if
Rio.
you're still local, where will you be? In.
Rio.
So he won't be able to work with us. Then.
Oh, it's terrible. Isn't it?
Sad.
I'm working in sustainability, and I'm taking 2 long-haul flights.
Yeah.
Who's going to be able to work on this with us? You'll have to.
Well, the internet's a great thing. I'd be very happy to make iterations.
I mean, we can
Skype
do it.
session.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm
we'll just focus
flattered
on
that
what
you
need for
think
your.
it's worth
No, it's
developing.
really.
I think you need to polish that and brand it and use it as something for the sector.
I think so.
There's no point in sitting in your.
And there's a few things like this which have been generated. So for your dissertation, have you done a review of sustainability games?
I'm aware that this method is used quite broadly
Will
in
you
the
have
area.
a look at what the fellows of the Ellen MacArthur Foundation have come up with?
Okay.
Because a couple of them have come up with something like that. So if you look at the Ellen MacArthur Foundation, they've got an Ellen MacArthur Schmidt, I think it is, fellowship. And then it says what they've all done, and a couple of them have come up with things like that.
Oh, brilliant.
So for Thursday, you need to reference what else has happened in the sector. And who's this other eco
games?
game? Yeah. So make sure you've done a review of that, and then
So we could have more.
see. But we might even
Thank you.
Nice, cool stuff.
That's
I'm
great.
pleased that I wanted Victoria to see because she can support it differently than she has access to money, which I don't. But if this is really good, it's something that we could use, if you know what I mean, and if it's a starting point and we can have an input. Yeah, that's great. I like it. I really like it. Maybe a few things is like, as Victoria also said, like how do you make sure you know exactly how the rules of the game work? Something quite simple. If you're not present, how can we run that without you?
Yeah. Okay. So in answer to that, there are no rules. But is that a failing? I have 2 proposals for games. One of them is called the traffic light idea generating game. Or just call it traffic light.
Okay.
So the idea is that you have all of these cards upside down. So they would be like this, piled on top of each other. Traffic lights. Absolute coincidence. So they're like this, and then you start with a problem. You say, okay, so perhaps there's not such a clear message coming from the university, and then you turn through, so what's already happening, and what's the potential idea, and you change these 2, keep turning them, until something happens between the 3. And it's not to say that that's absolutely the problem, but it's only when you put yourself in a situation where you line these 3 things together.
You have that.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I now see that. Sorry. Well done. Yeah.
I thought that could help you. What else did I do that was one of your ideas? That one, put it into everyone's.
Yeah, that's my job.
Yeah. But because you said you'd like the staff to put it into their
Role description.
role description. So
Yeah.
I put it there. Thought
Yeah.
might be a good way of using it. In a meeting, maybe. I've made prototypes of these before these ones, and I have tested them with other people.
And
yeah, it was good feedback. Like the idea of these are friends of mine that I suppose are more sustainably conscious than some people, but they're not from the sector.
Okay.
And they got it. They were making connections, playing this game, and just being like, okay. And it started to sort of come up with some ideas, but more just about stimulating a thought path that might not have otherwise happened. So that would be. I don't see how you could play that wrong.
Okay. Yeah.
But then really the idea is, maybe it's a bit of a cop out, but the idea is that you would. Do they need clearer instructions, do you think?
You know what, maybe even the fact that there are no instructions is good to be mentioned.
Yeah.
And maybe you can say you can use all the cards, you can use some of the cards. Maybe this is good. Think it as a product that's going to hit a customer and they have no idea what you're doing. Like they have, they don't know about it at all.
Yeah.
Treat it as, that you really need to make an introduction, like even a separate card where you're going to say 1, 2, 3. The aim is this. You can play it like that. The outcome can be whatever.
Yeah, I've that's a card which isn't printed yet because I wanted to hear what you thought before I sort of bothered defining anything. But yeah, so it's good that you think that's a good idea too.
I like it, it's great. We do need that kind of tools in the sector because it's all being quite dull. Like, we would be quite keen to use it as well. If you would be happy sharing some of the cards with us, we could embed them, like even in our PowerPoint or whatever, and always reference your name, of course. I'm quite particular about that. No. Listen. Always. And ethically, I'm going to reference your name, but you want everyone to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good point. My naivety probably coming through again. So there's more specific questions. I think that's it. Yeah. So that's cool because you've sort of flagged up two things which I was already doing. I've just printed these, which are the ones that I've made, but I haven't made blanks, and I haven't made the instructions yet. So that's cool. Well, thanks.
Seems good and well done.
Thanks very much.
After Thursday, you're free.
Yeah. I mean, now that this is the first time that I've printed them, so I'm noticing that this line thickness is a bit out of sync with the rest. Little tweaks, I think.
These are things that the designer can see, you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't be able to. Like, to me, it looks good.
Do you think? Can you imagine? Like, I mean, I don't know what it's like to be in a meeting when you're representing sustainability, but are you thinking of how this could be useful, perhaps, when you're in discussions with people that don't know about what happens or what you're doing? Or?
What we have as a huge problem is how we communicate sustainability to different people, because we have to work internally with different staff teams within the university who are centrally located, such as equality, diversity and inclusion team. If we tell them about green impact, they won't necessarily get it. Mm-hmm. If we talk to them about equal opportunities and how sustainability ties with considerations of disability and all of this as well, then it's how they're going to get it. And I have been using the Sustainable Development Goals. So I take the goals and around that I create one PowerPoint slide, and I just bring it with me in meetings just to make sure that I'm on the same page with different people.
Yeah.
So, but for you to know that and design cards for that, it's a different type of work. It's like, here is a list of different departments. departments. Here's how each department, here's the message and how we can work with each department. And this is the card that needs to be created for this game. But this is a different thing. So in a way, I'm building that organically at this stage, based on every meeting I have.
Yeah, so I suppose these are specific to the idea of the culture.
But these, I can see them in a senior management team meeting. They give a bigger picture.
Oh, thank you. That's what I was hoping.
Yeah. You cannot kill all the birds with one stone, you know what I mean?
No.
For the general culture, that's great.
Thank you very much.
That's yours.
Cool.
What are you going to do in Rio? Are you going for the Olympics?
I'm not. No. I'll be landing just after. A friend of mine's getting married.
Oh.
Well, friends of mine are getting married.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very exciting. I've never been to South America.
Funny enough, a guest of mine at this very moment, she is Brazilian, and tomorrow we're going to Cambridge. We attend the summer school together.
Oh, wow. Was she staying as like couch surfing, or was it?
No, she's like she's a friend's lover, basically, and she's lovely. She's staying with me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice when we get to meet people.
Yeah, she's beautiful, really nice.
Oh, brilliant.
And what are you going to do in South Korea then?
I don't know yet. We'll see. I'm going to be with my soon-to-be wife.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, very exciting. And I just wanted to. She's from South Korea, so I wanted to spend time with her family and get to know her culture. Because the idea is to stay there for at least a year, and the easiest way of getting that visa would be to get a job. And one of the easiest jobs would be to teach English. Well,
Okay, yeah.
we say easiest. As you know, I'm not very good at spelling.
Well, if you get some practice, you're going to fine.
Yeah, exactly. Oh god, my phone's really hot. That's very gusty video.